Hi, my name is Nick. I'm training a professional Japanese teacher. So today's lesson, I'm gonna give you numbers in Japanese so that you can tell your age when you greet with someone, or you can talk about money or economics, pretty much everything. So let's begin. First, I'm gonna share 1 through 10, and these numbers are gonna be root of the numbers, and I'm gonna share what I mean later. Okay, so it's kanji 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's practice how we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you sometimes hear differently, and it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 12. These are old style of how to count numbers in Japanese, but we use both. Alright? And there's no rules about which way you have to use on specific numbers, but I'm gonna share about this too. Alright, so these are the minimum numbers, and from 11. In English, there's specific ways that you have to count until 12, right? But in Japanese, you always use these minimum numbers, and this is what I mean. Okay, so 11. In Japanese, we say 11 because 11 is 10 plus 1. So 11. So same concept. What about this? It's 12. So you already know how to say this number. It's 13. And it's 14 or 14. And be careful about this because if you say 17, it's going to be 17. 17, or you can say 17. Alright? From 20, we don't want to say 10. It's literally saying 10. It makes sense, but we want to say 20, right? So it's and 20 is 10 by 2. So 20. If you say 12, it's gonna be 12 But if you say 20, you can say 20. I mean 12. No, 20. That's confusing. Okay. So, what about this? Same concept. 21. Okay. So, what about this? 22. So, give me 28. It's 28. You're getting there. So, give me 25. It's 25. Okay, and if you want to tell your age, we say this. So if you want to say I'm 22, you can say 22歳です。22歳です。But when it comes to mention your age, 20歳です。We don't say 20歳です。And this specific number, 20, we say 20歳です。It means 20 years old. And this number, 20, and when you become 20歳, you can legally drink alcohol or you can legally smoke the cigarettes. Not 18. In Japan, it's 20歳, 12. I mean 20. Okay. So the same concept of the counting numbers in Japanese. So you can say this number too. It's 59. It's 59. What about this? It's like a puzzle. This kanji represents 4, and this kanji represents 10, and this kanji, it's 7. So, it's 47. And how do you say in this number in Japanese? It's 47. Or you can say 47. You can say both. But 47, 47. You can say this in a specific area because if you say an old style is this line. 47. It's kind of like a dialect of counting numbers in specific areas. So we say 47 or 47. Don't mix 2 or more old style of numbers. So what about this? It's 89. And some of you guys wondering when to use this to. We don't say 8と9. It doesn't make any sense. We say 89. Why does that? So when you want to say to, this is a really old style of saying 10 in Japanese, and we don't use to as much. And we cannot say when you say tens numbers like 40. We don't say 4と and we don't say 5と No. We always use 10. So remember this. But you sometimes hear when old people are counting numbers like 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9と This is really old style. So you can remember this, but we don't use this much. And before we go to 100, I want to share about this. This is how you count multiple things in English. It's 5. So it's 8, right? But in Japanese, we write like this. This is a kanji that represents correct or right. So, and this kanji made from 5 strokes, like this one. So, if it's this is 6 and this is 8. 5, 1, 2, 3, 8. Okay, from 100 to 10,000. This is also the easy one. So, 100, we say 100. And 1,000, 10. And this one is a little tricky because you say 10,000, right? But we don't say 10,000. 10,000, no. We say 万. Okay, so 101, 101. We say 101. And we don't have to add and between 100 and 1. We say 101. We don't say 100と1. If you say 100と1, と means and. Right? If you say 100と1, we might misunderstand you were saying 111 because we say 10 as と sometimes in old style. So you don't have to add and in anywhere, okay? Even if it's 10 or 万. No. Okay, so all you have to do is combine those numbers. So if you want to say this one 106 because it's 100 plus 6. Oh, 6. So 106. So give me 107. It's 107 or 107. We don't say 107 very much. We say 107. But you can also say 107 if you want. Okay, so give me 203. It's 203. 203. You're getting pattern. Okay, so give me this one. 312. It's 312. it's not 300 because it's kind of hard to say this 300, right? And we don't say 100 if you want to say 100. You don't say you say 100, but in Japanese we always say 100. Okay, so it's 100. Okay, so same concept. This one, 1000. And an old style of saying this number, you sometimes say 1000, not 1000, 1000, because it's 1000. But we don't say 100. We always say 100, 100. We don't say that. But this one, when it comes to 1000, we say 1000. But you also say 1000. We generally say 1000. We don't say 1000 regularly. So remember that. So the same concept. Give me 1012. You know how to say this number 12. So 1012. It's simple. All you have to do is combine those numbers. Okay, so what about this number? It's 1100. It's easy, right? What about this number? This is a little tricky. It's 3300. We don't say 3300. It's kind of hard to say the same consonants continuously. So it's 3300. So let's practice this number 100. It's if it's 100, we say 100, 200, 300, okay, 400, and we don't say 400. We always say 400, okay, and 500. This one 600. It's P, okay, 600, 700. We don't say 700. It's hard to say, so we always say 700, okay, and we don't say 800. We say 800, okay. This one 900. And this one, we don't say 1000. It's changing the unit, so it's 100. Oh, it's 1000, which means 10,000. Okay, so 1000, we sometimes say that. 2000, 3000, 4000. We don't say 4000. No, we always say 4000. 5000, 6000. And you already know the rules. 7000. Okay, you got there. 8000. We don't say 8000. We say 8000. Okay, and this one 9000. And this is a little tricky because you say 10,000 about this number, but we have the specific unit about 10,000, so we say 1 万 1万 okay? So give me the number of 20,000. It's 2万. What about 40,000? It's 4万. What about 90,000? It's 9万. This is really tricky, right? And back to 100. What about this? It's 100, 110, right? Because it's 100 plus 10, so 110. But when it comes to this specific number, now this number is also a phone number when you want to call a police in Japan. So when you want to call police, we say 110番通報. Ban means number and 通報 means report. Okay, so if you want to call police, we say 110番通報. 110番. If you say 110番 means police. Okay, it's 119. 119. This is also the number when you want to call ambulance, okay, or fire. So if someone say 119番通報, 119 number report. So you call, you press 119 and call. Then you can call ambulance or fire. And this one, 110番, if you press 110, you can say, you can call the police in Japan. And this number, can I say this? 2001, 136. It's 1,000, so 2136. 2136. And in English, you divide this number into two parts, right? So 2136. But we don't say this. We don't say like this, 2136. No, we always say 2136. Remember, we don't put and between the numbers, right? So, and this number, and this is the number of kanji that we regularly use in daily life. Can you believe it? Okay, so what about this number? It's 21,000. So it's 21,360. Did you catch what I said? Listen to how I pronounce again. So 21,360. When it comes to this number, 1,000, we usually say sen, not isen. But if 1,000 is in 10,000 number, we say isen to make sure to tell this specific number. So this is a kanji for yen, the currency of yen. We say 21,360円. We sometimes say 21,360円 if you want to make a really casual. But we usually say 21,360円. Okay, so this might make you a little confused when you go to a store or something, when you buy something. Okay, so remember this. And just to know, there's 0, right? This is really difficult, right? We also say this number as 0, not 0, 0. But in Japanese, it's rei. And you say 101, right? Especially when you want to mention about room number or ticket number, whatever the number, and you say 101 because this 0 looks like the letter O. And we say this 1 maru. Maru means circle. It makes sense, right? So 1 maru 1. So if your room number is 702, how do you say this? It's 702. And you can also say 101 or 101. What about this? 702 or 707 or 702 or 702. There's a lot of way to say this, right? But you are gonna get used to it. Okay. So what about this? There's many zeros in this number. It's 20万 because there's 20 man. You want to say 200,000 in English, this number, right? But we say 20万 because we have the specific unit of 10,000. So it's the same concept of the English, but reduce the unit in this case. So we say 200,000, but in Japanese, it literally means 10,000. That's confusing, right? So, what about this? It's 21万. Wow, right? So, it's confusing if you write too many zeros on the paper, so you can always write like this. Combine the numbers with kanji. This kanji represent 10,000, right? So 21, 10,000. 21 and 21, 10,000, which is 21万円. 21, 10,000. It's difficult, right? So if I write this one, this kanji represents 1,000. So 5,000. How do you say in Japanese? It's 5,000. 5,000, right? So what about this? There are three kanjis that represent the specific numbers, and this one is 10,000, this one is 1,000, and this one is 100. So you can do this. 37, 10,000, and 6,000, and 200, which means like this. 37万6200. That makes sense, right? And the more units, this one, we did 20万, average wage in Japan, and the same concept in English, like 10,000. We have the specific unit of 10,000 as 万, so 10万, 20万, 30万, 40万. This is number. And the next unit, 100万. There's 6 zeros and 7 zeros. 1000万. If this number, if I want to say this number, I say1000万. Not 1000万. If you say 1000万, it doesn't make any sense. So we put 1 at the very first. So 1000万. So what about this? 2. 2000万. Right? And from above 8 zeros, we say 億 and 億、10億、100億. Then 1000億. And the next one is, it's 兆. 1兆、2兆、3兆、4兆. If you have this number of money, you will be happy, right? So if I write like this, how do you say that? It's 1兆6000万. It means like this. We don't know what we are talking about, do we? But you can always use the kanji of the number of the unit. So you can always give yourself visual organized numbers. So remember how to write these kanjis? So you don't have to get confused when you talk about money or economics or your age. Alright, now you've just mastered how to count numbers in Japanese, and here's the question of the day. If you have 20万円, what would you buy? let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. ありがとう。